You ever wonder why you feel so inferior to people? Do you wonder why, when you walk by other people, you can't hold their eye contact? You have to look down, you have to look away from them. Do you wonder why that there's this weird thought in the back of your head that you can't mess up an interaction with someone else, because if you do, you'll be punished for it? Where does this sense of inferiority to other people come from? And why is it that you struggle so badly with it? It comes from the fact that you're not measuring and judging yourself against your own norm, your own standard. It comes from the fact that you are measuring and judging yourself against this norm of some other individual. And when you do this, the prerequisite result that comes every single time without fail is that you always come out second best. But because you think and feel and believe that you should measure up to someone else's norm, you feel miserable and second rate and as though there's something wrong with you. And the next logical conclusion in this cockeyed reasoning process is to conclude that you are not worthy, that you do not deserve success and happiness, and that it would be out of place for you to fully express your own abilities and talents, whatever they might be, without apology, without feeling guilty about it. All of this comes about because you have allowed yourself to be hypnotized by the entirely erroneous idea that I should be like so-and-so, or I should be like everybody else. The fallacy of the second idea can be readily seen through if analyzed, because in truth, there are no fixed standards common to everyone else. This idea of everyone else in your head is fictional, because everybody else is composed of unique individuals, no two of whom are alike, right? Everybody in the world, their DNA, your DNA and that of everyone else's in the world has never been seen before and will never be seen again in human existence. And no DNA is like another that is around. It's entirely unique. So every human being is unique. And if that's the case, that means that the population of the world is made up of a bunch of unique individuals. Therefore, it's completely impossible for there to even be a standard of everybody else. So this standard of everybody else in your head, this standard that you think you have to live up to, is fake. It's not real. It doesn't exist. It physically can't exist. You are not inferior. You are not superior. You are simply you. You as a personality are not in competition with other personalities because there simply is not another personality like yours. You are an individual. You are unique, like I just said. So you are not supposed to be like any other person, and no other person is supposed to be like you. No one was created to be like any other person. You were created as your own person. God has created you and everyone else uniquely as individuals. So in order to get rid of this inferiority complex, in order to be able to hold your chest high, to look other people in the eyes, to stop feeling so pathetic and weak to other people, is that you have to stop measuring yourself up against their standards. You are not them, and you can never measure up. Again, you and everyone else is unique. So you aren't them, and you can't become them. So you can never live up to this imagined standard of everyone else in your mind, because it just simply doesn't even exist. I truly believe that once you see this simple, kind of self-evident truth, accept it and believe it, your feelings of inferiority will vanish. I remember once I stopped living up to the standards of other people. There was a few select people in my life that I kind of thought that I had to live up to the standard of. But I was miserable for so long because no matter what I did, I always came out second rate because I'm not them. I can't live up to them. But because I thought I needed to and I was never able to, I was miserable because of that. Once I stopped living up to this standard, I destroyed that standard in my head and made a standard of my own self. My feelings of inferiority vanished. I was able to hold my chest high, look other people in the eyes, and share my own personal abilities and talents no matter what, without fear, without shame, without guilt. Dr. Norton L. Williams, a psychiatrist, he was addressing a medical convention, and he said that modern man's anxiety and insecurity stems from a lack of self-realization, and that inner security can only be found in, quote, in finding in oneself an individuality, uniqueness, and distinctiveness that is akin to the idea of being created in the image of God. He also said that self-realization is gained by, quote, a simple belief in one's own uniqueness as a human being, a sense of deep and wide awareness of all people and all things, and a feeling of constructive influencing of others through one's own personality. And I cannot tell you how I found this to be so exactly true to my own self. Like I said just now, the way that I got rid of this inferiority complex, or the way that I started to, the basis of getting rid of it, was that I got rid of this standard of everyone else in my head. This feeling of like I needed to live up to this standard of some other people. I got rid of that, right? That was the foundation of it. What I slowly started to do day by day was to build this idea of I am unique and I am an individual that God has created. I'm not meant to be like anyone else. And the unsexy answer to getting rid of this is not some eye contact or body language trick. It's simply the daily contemplation and understanding and implementation of this concept that you are an individual, that you can't live up to anyone else, that you're not made to live up to anyone else, that you are made to be you and to live up to no one but God as your own unique person. What you need to do, just as actionable steps to getting rid of this, is you need to take time every day, just 10 minutes, to sit down and de-hypnotize yourself from these ideas. What I recommend is that, one, you go on Amazon and you buy the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. A fucking incredible book. It's going to describe to you exactly how to get rid of social anxiety, get rid of your inferiority complex, and develop charisma and a good personality and a strong character. It's going to help you see how to strive for and achieve your goals. But what it's also going to do is, in the sections about developing charisma and personality and getting rid of your inferiority complex and social anxiety, what it does is it literally explains in words my own journey of getting rid of my social anxiety and developing social confidence. It's so weird. When I was sat there reading it, it put into words things in my mind that I couldn't put into words, but that I know that I did. So things like getting rid of the inferiority complex here, it literally puts in words exactly my thought process of getting rid of it, but that's not really something that I could put a proper label on, right? So the first thing that I recommend you do is go and buy that book. And the second thing is to spend time journaling. 10 minutes at night. Spend time journaling about these truths. Just whatever comes to your mind about it. It doesn't have to be anything specific. The book can help to have because it can give you thought prompts to write off of. But really, it doesn't matter. Just whatever comes to your mind, sit there and write about it so that you can slowly but surely over the days de-hypnotize yourself from thinking this. Because again, the unsexy answer is that the way that you get rid of your inferiority complex is to just get rid of your inferiority complex, to stop thinking inferior thoughts, to stop living up to this imagined standard of everyone else in your head. The only way you're going to do that is by de-hypnotizing yourself through journaling, through reading Psycho-Cybernetics, through deep thought about this, and through consciously practicing this when you go in public as well. It's the unsexy answer, yes, but it's just the reality of it. I hope that the information in this video was helpful to you. If it was, leave a nice comment down below just letting me know what helped and maybe things that I could change as well. On this channel, I'm dedicated to sharing my own personal experiences and advice on how to overcome social anxiety and develop social confidence. If you think that'd be helpful to you, go subscribe right now, turn on the notifications to not miss my videos, and shut out the noise. Do the work.